All right, it looks like we're ready to go, and I got the green light. So I have the pleasure of welcoming everybody here today. And my name is Danny Chong, and I am coming to you live from New York City. And first, thank you everybody for joining us. There are many places you can be, and there are many things you can be doing right now on a Sunday evening. So thank you for being here with us. And I'm just going to start off by introducing myself. As I said, I'm Danny. I'm from New York City, and my background is I'm a pharmacist. I've been a pharmacist for about 3 years, and I practice here in New York City at a few of the hospitals here. And today, we're really excited to have this conversation with you and to create with you what this is all about. So I'm going to start off by sharing a little bit about my story and how I came to, be a part of Isagenix. And throughout our entire call, we will be introducing a few different healthcare providers, from pharmacists, physicians, nurses, therapists, occupational therapists, massage therapists, naturopathic doctors, and really everybody from all backgrounds in the medical field. So, and one of the things that I wanted to start to create is also to invite you to listen in a particular way. To invite you to listen for, what do you see for yourself, and everybody share. Throughout this call, a few of us would share, our experiences and just some of our personal testimonials. But also, I'm inviting you to listen for, is there something that I see for myself through the person that's sharing on the other side of the screen? So I'm going to begin by sharing a little bit about my story. And I was introduced to Isagenix about 2 years ago, and I was already practicing as a pharmacist. And, I was somebody who was healthy. I have a yoga teacher background. I was vegetarian at the time. And one of my friends called me up and started sharing with me about Isagenix and what the nutritional systems were about. And I was really skeptical, not sure what it's about. And I came from a background of, as a pharmacist, I am, and as medical professionals, we're trained to really evaluate, the evidence that's out there. And we're trained to really scrutinize and criticize whether the things that we are presented have any validity and whether they have scientific background. So I looked up all the research that was available. I looked through isagenix.com and some of the resources, isagenixhealth.net, and I really couldn't find anything wrong. So long story short, I gave it a shot, and within a few days, I felt amazing. And specifically for me as a pharmacist, I was working in a high stress environment. I'm always using my brain. I'm always thinking. I'm always processing, looking at patients' drug-drug interactions, drug-disease interactions, and really cross-referencing everything there is. All right, so there's a lot of activity going on over here. And within 4 or 5 days, I had this experience of this mental clarity that I've never had before. And it was I used to describe it, and I still describe it this way. It's like this mental fog has lifted for me. And on top of that, I was somebody who didn't really have any weight to lose. I started around 160, 155 pounds. I'm still at the same weight, but my body fat percentage has dropped from 14.9 to less than 10%. The last time I measured it, which was almost a year ago, was at 9.8. So it's probably a lot lower at this point. And, the thing I really wanted to touch on that I didn't really see for myself is that, as healthcare providers, we really care about people. We're really looking out for, how can I best take care of my patients? Where can I improve their quality of life? How can I impact them in such a way where it even impacts their family? And typically what I see, even when I go see my own doctor, is that healthcare professionals usually forget to take care about themselves. And that was me, where I was. I was taking care of everybody, taking care of my family, taking care of my patients, but I didn't really care about, not that I didn't care, but it was the last thing in the back of my mind to look at, what do I need? Where's my health come in? Where's my well-being come in? So, and that's something that, it's time to really give that attention to ourselves and allow ourselves to take care of ourselves. So that's where I want to start to create the listening for you to look at, well, am I taking care of myself to the best of my ability? Or am I taking care of myself to the degree that I know possible for myself? Or is it that I'm taking care of everybody and I've left myself out? Or maybe I haven't thought about myself to the degree that I would like to. And it begins with us as healthcare providers. You know, your patients come to you, they see you, they're looking at you, like we set the example. And that it never occurred to me that way. So it really starts with us. And Isagenix is what like really altered my life in that way that I didn't even know possible. And throughout this call, you're going to hear a lot more about other people's shares. So I'm going to transition to Jocelyn. I'm going to introduce Jocelyn, who's a nurse, and going to allow you to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jocelyn Freeman, and I am in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I am so grateful that I was introduced to Isagenix 4 years ago, which I cannot believe where time is going. And I was really introduced to Isagenix in a key time in my life. I had been practicing as a nurse for about a year. And in that time, I was practicing as a bone marrow transplant nurse with some med-surg practice. And honestly, I was really frustrated with what I was observing. In my heart, I would leave work and I would just feel like, man, what if we had talked about nutrition? What if years ago we started to heal the body with foods and cleansing? And I honestly was frustrated and a little bit resigned. Well, still fulfilled, because especially working with oncology patients, I saw amazing resilience in human beings, and I will never take that for granted. But I also saw myself becoming even more exhausted. Even though I was eating healthy, I was called a rabbit at work, and still I was tired. I would, on my days off, often want to sleep and just watch movies all the time. And I saw my fellow nurses and doctors really unhealthy. I would see a doctor he hadn't eaten in 16 hours, you know, and he's trying to care for providers or care for patients. So I just was like, wow, what is really going on? And I was introduced to Isagenix at that time. And a little bit of an echo. Let's see. Here we go. So thank goodness I was, because I was immediately, within 5 days, had a massive difference in my energy level, my mental clarity. I went to work and I was excited with my patients. I was like, 7:30 a.m., let's get them up and walk them. I was energized. On my days off, I was actually going on road trips and I was excited. So for me, it made a massive difference. But what was so powerful right away was that my friends and family and fellow nurses and doctors also tried it, and seeing their lives change, I was like, wow, there's really something to this. And I actually researched more about the company and found that the scientists who formulated it, which if you've never looked yourself at the science of Isagenix, the formulators I had actually studied in nursing school. I was really excited that they were a part of this, because I had especially their study on healthy aging. I was really impressed with that because I had worked in a research lab and had studied that. So fast forward 4 years after, I am now full-time able to help people from around the world. I was just in London last week.
Yeah, how are you on Facebook?
If someone's unmuted, if you don't mind, here we go. I was able to support 2 young women getting started in Isagenix last week in London, and that was a vacation. So I'm now able to be a part of people around the world being healthy. It's unbelievable the transformations I have seen in my community, other nurses, providers. It's just the greatest thing ever. But I'm really coming to you. I'm representing Louise, who's an amazing woman who wasn't able to attend today. But I really want to share her story because her credibility is amazing. And before I her story, and before I do that, I want to share some statistics that, depending on, I know there's some medical providers, healthcare providers, and some non who really are wanting to learn about how are healthcare providers getting involved in the wellness revolution through nutrition. But I'm sure most of you are aware of epidemics like this. Recent statistics in the CDC show that 69% of people are considered overweight or obese. Whoa. Millions of people are being diagnosed with diabetes related to nutrition. It has been said for the first time in our history, children will not outlive their parents if the epidemics continue for future decades. And over 80 million people have been diagnosed pre-diabetic. And then over 25 million people have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Now, I don't have it written down the time frame, so I apologize for that. But either way, we know, and no matter what practice or modality you come from, you know that there is a crisis with nutrition. That's no surprise to anyone. Even people who aren't healthcare providers, they know that it's not a surprise. So how can we do something about it when most people are not willing to cook for multiple hours a day? They're very busy. I know a lot of people are working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. So how can we help ourselves and people, the community around us, with simple solutions? And so that's what we're going to talk more about. But really quickly, Louise's testimony. So she said, before Isagenix, I was a hormonal mess. I was coming off of fertility treatments, and she was a high-risk pregnancy. The physician told her that she was destined to have this baby suck the life out of her. That was literally what he said to her in the office. I went from being a high-level marathon runner to laying on the couch all day, energyless, and rapidly gaining body fat. She knew she needed to do something, but she was not sure. But because she's a researcher, so she's actually an exercise physiologist, and she's currently working on her master's. I can't remember the exact specialty, but she's also a massage therapist. She's worked with many pro athletes. And so she was researching, and she found Isagenix. And then she knew that Aaron and I had been doing Isagenix, so she reached out to us. So she had already done all her research. It was great. So she immediately jumped in because she was so impressed with the ingredients. Some of the things she mentions here is just that how they really focused on vegetables, how they focused, like she especially was impressed by the Nox, which many people, it's actually formulated as a performance item to help improve workouts. But she was actually really impressed with how it could be used for many different lifestyle solutions, for even many different things that people might be dealing with in their wellness. And I won't ever say a medical diagnosis because we want to really be conscientious that Isagenix doesn't claim to be the treatment, but we know that the body is a miracle, and when it's really in balance and it's in harmony, it does the amazing work. So she was so impressed with this, and she was a stickler about every single ingredient. So she began using the shakes during her pregnancy. She said within weeks that she was back to being able to run, and that she had never thought that she could feel that amazing during that pregnancy. And let's see, she was able to play with her son. That was a huge gift for her to be able to play. And now she's she's already delivered the baby, and she's now training for her Boston Marathon coming up. So she has also just been an amazing educator. She really works with people in her team, sharing with them about all the different lifestyle solutions. And what she says to me is, I know I can partner with this company, not only because the ingredients, which you can all look up for yourselves, the science that they have, their peer-reviewed studies, but the fact that she can help anyone with any goal. We have solutions for weight loss, energy, performance, and healthy aging. So the fact that she can work with a patient or a client or a family member with anything going on in their wellness, she says she absolutely loves that she has a solution for all of those. So that's what she wanted me to share with you all. And so now, with knowing that those are all the solutions, I want to keep going through these stories and why these different medical providers stand by this. So Brant, would you jump in and share about yourself?
Yes, thanks, Jocelyn. So my name is Brant Marco. I live in Scottsdale, Arizona. I've been a pharmacist for over 20 years now, and I started Isagenix about 3 years ago. But prior to Isagenix, I was really in a dark spot, in a dark place. I was overweight. I was in a highly stressed environment with pharmacy retail, which led to bad food cravings and bad food habits, and as well as late night binging after a long day and stressful day. I didn't sleep well, and I definitely had low energy throughout the day. So back in May or April of 2014, my life changed. I went in for my yearly checkup, and I was talking with a nurse practitioner. Her name is Emily, and she was asking me about my health goals. So I told her I wanted to lose weight, have less stress, more energy, better sleep, and so forth. So she introduced to me what she had been using for the last 2 years, and that was Isagenix, and how that has made a difference in her life. She gave me some stuff to look at, so I left. I looked at the stuff that she asked me to look at, and about 3 to 4 weeks later, I called her back and I said, Emily, I'm ready to go. I need a change in my life. I've tried different things in the past. I'm ready to give this a go. So I ordered the value pack. That's what her recommendation was, the best pack that's going to give me and maximize my results for the first 30 days. And I say within the first 3 or 4 days, I felt different. Something was going on in my body. I felt a little bit more energy. As the days went on, I noticed the weight loss. I noticed my pants were getting looser. I noticed I was sleeping better. I had more energy, less stress. So I was completely shocked after the first 30 days. Fast forward 3 years later, I'm still doing the same thing. I love feeling great. I'm just so grateful that Emily, that she took the time to explain to me and to introduce to me something that has literally changed my life. And I'm so passionate about that now that that's what I'm doing to others as well. Someone that is searching for a solution that they've been looking for their entire life. That's my passion right now. As a pharmacist, one of my main goals or jobs is to counsel my patients and to make sure that they're compliant on their medicines, their diabetes medicines, their blood pressure medicines. So when I counsel them on their new medication, I usually ask them, all right, what did your doctor talk to you about your nutrition? 9 out of 10 times, the answer is nothing. They just gave me my prescription and they said, take the pills. Hopefully they'll help. And it's just my mindset in the last 3 years, knowing and learning about what great nutrition can do for the body, my mindset has done a 180. I truly believe today that the best prescription that you can put in your body is the right nutrition. People tell me all the time, they say, well, I eat clean already. I eat organic when I can, even though that's expensive. And it's, our body requires 70 minerals and trace minerals to achieve optimal health. And even if a person eats organic today, they're only getting 10 to 12 of those minerals. I mean, that's eye-opening. So it's, and there's a study way back when it was done. If the body's missing just one of those essential minerals, a disease could result down the road. So what really makes us different from other companies? And I want to hit on 2 different items that really are key, that work synergistically together in our system. And the first one is the Isoline Shake. The Isoline Shake is a great balance between protein, carbs, and fat that really make it a true meal replacement. Our Isoline Shakes are sugar and helps a person in between meals to remain full. Our Isoline Shakes have 24 grams of undenatured whey protein. Now, 24 grams of undenatured whey protein that comes from New Zealand, that comes from happy cows that are grass-fed and not injected with hormones, steroids, antibiotics. So it's purely clean, undenatured whey protein, and they're also milked during the right time of the year. Undenatured means it doesn't go through that heating process that whey protein requires in the United States to go through by the FDA. In the United States, it goes through a pasteurization process. And the one that we get undenatured from New Zealand goes through a filtering process. So in that process, those fragile active peptides in the branched chain amino acids, they stay intact. And we're getting the best value that the whey can offer us with regards to fat loss, weight loss, and muscle building and so forth. Other things about our shakes: no soy, non-GMO, nothing artificial in our shakes. And the other thing that I really like that really differentiates our shakes from our competitors is it has 8 active enzymes, live enzymes, that really aid in the digestion process. So for anyone that has stomach issues, our shakes do very well with them as well. The other item I wanted to touch on is our Cleanse for Life drink. And this drink really nourishes the body with a bunch of antioxidants and plant botanicals. It's loaded with B vitamins. It's got crucial ingredients like aloe that acts as an anti-inflammatory, licorice root that acts like a diuretic that kind of flushes out that bad inflammation, burdock root that acts like a natural antioxidant, yellow dock that kind of cleanses the kidney, peppermint that aids in digestion. So this Cleanse for Life drink really does a great job with regards to giving our body what we really need from a nutrient and mineral standpoint. So why is nutritional cleansing so important? Really, it's important because it cleanses our blood. And just like we take a shower every day to wash our skin, we are showering our insides now from the inside out. We're giving our blood a bath, so to speak. We have each of and every one of us has 100 trillion cells in our body. And if we don't clean them, the junk starts to build up and build up and build up. But during the nutritional cleansing process with this Cleanse for Life, it helps get rid of impurities and toxins that kind of hide in our fat cells, so to speak, and gently removes them from our body. Nutritional cleansing also fixes any mineral and vitamin deficiencies just by flooding our body with this great nutrition. You know, there was a study done back in 1957 by UCLA. They analyzed a bowl of spinach. And this one bowl of spinach had all these vitamins and nutrients and minerals in it. It was really great nutrition. They did the same study 40 years later in 1997. And they determined that a person would have to eat 43 bowls of the same spinach to get the same nutrition from that one bowl. And that's what all of our food is like today because of our over-farmed, nutrient-depleted soil. We're just not getting the nutrients today from our real food than we did in years past. The other thing I like about nutritional cleansing is it promotes an alkaline body. It's an alkaline diet. Dr. Otto Warburg, back in the 1930s, won a Nobel Prize for proving that cancer cannot survive in an oxygenated environment, and it cannot survive in an alkaline body. He won a prize for that way back when. So our system, our isogenic system, is a very, very alkaline body. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Eva, so Eva can share her story with us.
Eva, you're muted.
Okay, let's start again. I'm super excited to be here with you guys today. And my story starts, it was the end of my first year of medical school, and I had taken on a tremendous amount that first year. I started school and I hopped into a leadership program, which was 7.5 months, added about 20 to 30 hours of work a week on top of that. And so by the end of my first year that summer, I was drained. I was totally burnt out. And during that leadership program is when I met both Aaron and Jocelyn. And for a while, I was looking at the products, and I was really intrigued because of the formulations, because of the ingredients, because they're They have things like apple cider vinegar, and they're using cayenne pepper, cinnamon. They're using palo de arco, which is one of my favorite superfoods. And it amazed me that there was somebody out there who knew how to incorporate and formulate with these products and with these different ingredients. And it blew my mind, but I was not ready to jump on. And I said no. I said no for a long time, even though I was seeing doctors, I wasn't having results, I wasn't feeling better. So after about 4 months and a lot of conversations with Aaron in the parking lot, I said, okay, like, what can I do? Either it's going to be great or it's going to be terrible, and I'll just send it back. Like, there was truly nothing to lose. And that's something that Jocelyn also reiterated to me a few times. So I said, fine, let's do it. So I got started, and like Danny, like 5 days in, it was a light bulb just turned on inside of me. The fatigue that I was feeling, it whittled away. I had energy. I had a lot of trouble just with concentration and mental fog. That was gone. It was like I was able to be present with people again. I was able to do my work, and I was honestly excited about life again. And I just missed that. So very quickly, because I was feeling so great, I just started to share with people. And this is my passion, like food as medicine, superfood nutrition, herbs, botanicals. This is my passion and being in naturopathic medical school, this is what we talk about. How do we incorporate optimal nutrition in herbs and botanicals and to just help people feel their best? And so everything just started to happen. But I want to read to you a quick quote that I read this morning. And this was coming from, it's really a stat versus a quote, but Chef Jamie Oliver. And he says, in the next 18 minutes, 4 Americans will die from the food they eat. That's 1 person every 4.5 minutes. A fact that's almost impossible to comprehend. And I keep looking at it and I'm like, that's where we come in. That's where we have the opportunity to make an impact. I'm now in the clinic and I'm seeing patients, and there's people that come in and they're struggling, and they've been coming to the doctor and they're struggling to lose weight, and maybe they've lost 5 pounds, maybe they've lost 8 or 9 pounds, but they've got a lot much further to go than 8 or 9 pounds to get their health back on track. And there's people that walk out of the office, and I can't do anything about it right now, given, that I'm a student, it's in the clinic, and I can't speak to them. But there's so many people, I'm like, if I could only speak to them and we can at least incorporate this as part of their plan, because then I truly believe they'll have an opportunity to make the shift that they need to make, to have the shift, to lose the weight, to get their health back on track. And so that's why I'm so passionate. It's an incredible tool in our toolbox as healthcare professionals, as people that care about other people, to bring this, to share this. And speaking to like herbs and botanicals, one of my favorite pieces of our system are the adaptogens. Adaptogens go back years, thousands of years, and they're plants that are grown in the harshest environments around the world, and they work optimally when they're blended, so that they can work synergistically. And that's why we have adaptogens like littered throughout our products, the Ionic Supreme, our Cleanse for Life, our e-shots, and it's because they help the body wake up in the morning, go to bed at night. They're alkalinizing agents, and they build on each other. And so when I'm putting in my body, or what I'm sharing with people, what I will share with people also down the road, that these are adaptogens, these are herbs that are going to make a huge difference in their lives every day, with mental clarity, with alkalinization, with just their overall well-being. So with that being said, I'm going to pass this on to Ernest. Yes, stress. Danny just said stress. Adaptogens are huge for stress. So I will pass this on to Ernest, a great friend from New York. And can't wait to hear what you got to say, Ernest.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. So as Eva mentioned, my name is Ernest. I'm out here in New York City. And I am currently wrapping up my 3rd year of residency in neurosurgery. So I often say 3 years down and a few hundred more to go. But it's a 7-year training program. So I'm coming to that halfway point. And I'll tell you a little bit about how I got involved in Isagenix and my background story. So Danny Chong, actually, the pharmacist we heard from earlier, and I met at that time I was in there further context at health and fitness goes. I'd been a personal trainer and had completed a master's degree in exercise physiology a couple of years prior to starting medical school way back. And actually, at that time, I really had a career in fitness as sort of my life goal. You know, my mission at the time was to be a successful fitness entrepreneur and to powerfully impact the world with solutions to the obesity epidemic. And somehow that mission led to medicine. So fast forward a few years, and here I am, neurosurgeon in training, but with this extensive background in fitness and exercise and sports nutrition. And so I met Danny at that time, and I was fat, actually. I put on a lot of weight since transitioning to medicine. Fat and stressed out and dealing with a lot of issues. It's one of the reasons I found myself in the course where I was. But I did share with him that I was actively looking for a business opportunity in fitness and in wellness. I mean, I'd wanted to do that for years. And in fact, my entire journey through medicine, I sort of had my roots in fitness in the background, and was thinking about, well, how was I going to bring that to bear on the way I serve my patients? Because I knew so many of the diseases we were spending all of our time in medical school studying were preventable. But there were so many of these diseases that all the time in medical school was spent studying those diseases and sick people and not how to keep them from getting sick. Nevertheless, Danny had Isagenix to share with me, and he had my ear because he was a pharmacist, and I thought, okay, here's a serious guy, man of science. He might have something interesting to share. And indeed, he shared Isagenix with me. I was incredibly skeptical and critical, and I spent a whole lot of time diving into the literature and the research, and bringing to this that I had the responsibility as a neurosurgeon to be really clear that anything I was going to put my name behind was going to stand up to what people saw in me when they got my recommendation that they should do this, that, or the other thing with respect to their health. I couldn't find anything that turned me away. I tried really hard to do that. But then I also realized that I wasn't going to make my final choice based on literature. I had to put this stuff into my body. So that's when I went to isoproduct.com, and I thought, really, what I'm really going to do is make this decision based on like macro and micronutrients. I'm going to go look at the nutrition label of a core product, and I did that. I looked at the Isoline shake, looked at the breakdown, simple things: fat, protein, carbohydrate, fiber breakdown, sodium. Saw that it was soy and gluten-free, and I was thinking to myself automatically, wow, these guys really thought of everything, didn't they? And I'm looking at the micronutrients and the ingredients, and then it occurred to me that I could not come up with a more perfect meal if I put it together myself with everything I knew that I had learned. So I thought, I better try this thing. I bet it tastes horrible. And that was the next surprise, that it was delicious. So I was sold. So I thought, well, maybe I can do something with this fat I've put on in residency. And sure enough, within a month and change, I dropped 12 pounds of fat easier than I had in years. And I thought, wow, there's really something here. And then I went to a large company event. I was lucky enough to meet the rest of the team, and I was just really blown away by how congruent the values of not just the company, but even our team in this company were. People from all walks of life, but definitely a concentration of folks from health, fitness, wellness, really discerning, thoughtful about nutrition, who saw in this company a way to really authentically, powerfully impact the lives of other people and to earn an income in the process. And I thought, this is fantastic. This is exactly what I've been looking for. And so out of that, I created a new journey as a physician entrepreneur, quite simply. I mean, what I saw for myself is, there's a very particular way I see myself practicing neurosurgery. I also have a mission in social justice and developing neurosurgical capacity in countries like Haiti and other underdeveloped countries. And that kind of work doesn't always pay so well in neurosurgery. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to graduate from residency and not have income at the forefront of my mind when I'm choosing how I'm going to practice this field and how I'm going to impact the world. And so that's what I did. And I got in, and it's been so incredible ever since. I've been supported completely, personally, physically, financially. And what I also love is that there was this variety of solutions that fit whatever I was going through whenever I was going through it. So as my needs evolved from weight loss to wanting to put on more muscle and sort of getting a little bit more athletic, there was an incredible line of really powerful supplements to do that. And then when I was going into preparing for my boards, I actually took a hiatus from the business. The company seemed to not know that because I kept getting paid. And I was studying for my boards while I'm getting paid. And I tried the brain and sleep support system, and it was fantastic. It delivered exactly what I needed. When I went into the operating room and was exhausted and then took an e-shot, it was like a panacea. I was like, whoa, this is incredible. I just lit right up. I was awake and I was focused but not jittery, like with still hands, wide awake, which is really important in my field. And so that, again, just completely blew me away. So it's been a great ride, and I'm definitely here for the long haul. And what's been totally exciting is having my mother join me. I think I saw her jump on the call, Elsie Joseph, who is also let's see, is she on here? Yeah, she is. Who is also a health professional. And so it's even become a family business. So I'm just really excited to be part of this team, to be part of this company. And I really have it that as health professionals, we are this company's access to becoming the largest health and wellness company in the world. And we're really it. This is going to happen with us and through us and because of us.
Love that. Thank you so much, Ernest. I love it. I could just have you keep talking over more and more. I love that. We truly are the access. And that's the perfect segue for me to just wrap this up for the last few minutes, just kind of circling back to why we're all here. We shared a lot of our testimonies and some of the testimonies of the people around us. But let's circle back to the vision of Isagenix. Because this isn't just a company who just has great shakes, great cleanse. Their vision, our vision really, is to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain. And in the process, create the largest health and wellness company in the world. And why that vision statement gets me so fired up every time I hear it is that they are not kidding when they say they're out to impact world health. No nutraceutical company is required to do research. They have been a part of a peer-reviewed year-long study because they are so committed that wellness providers, healthcare providers who want statistics, they want things that they can see and trust. Like Ernest said, we want to be able to put our name behind something. So they truly are setting themselves up to be the largest health and wellness company to impact world health. And you joined this call because somewhere inside of you, no matter how big you know it, you truly want to be a part of that revolution. And that's what I desired so badly when I was beginning as a nurse. Was I loved my experience, at the bedside supporting people, but I wanted to be a part of the wellness revolution. I could not go decades and decades in my life and not take a stand somehow. And this truly has been such an incredible way to do that. The thousands of people that have been impacted down the line that I haven't even met, just because, it's had such an amazing ripple effect, that's what's possible. So really our invitation to you is to be a part of the wellness revolution. And that might be a couple of different ways. That might be you taking care of you for the first time in a long time. That might be you transforming your family and you saying to your kids, to your partner, saying, we're going to get healthy. That may be your entire medical practice, or it may be your community. However it is that you want to be a part of this wellness revolution, we have the solutions for you. And it begins with you finding the way you want to experience Isagenix. Maybe you're going to try the 30-day cleanse solution, or you want to try the performance system like Luis was really excited about. Finding the right solution for you. And then what happens is, because they chose referral marketing as the solution for this, because they wanted people that believe in it, like you and I. They wanted people like you and I to be the ones that share it, rather than some magazine print that people don't trust anyway, or some billboard that never has an emotional impact. They wanted the people that believe in it like us. So you have the option, when you feel those results, to either start to get your product paid for with referrals, or like many of us said, we're creating a physician entrepreneur, a nurse entrepreneur, a pharmacist entrepreneur, a naturopathic medical entrepreneur. We're creating this bridge with medical and business, and being able to do it in such a fun way, because the future, guys, is online. I mean, many of us, there's nothing like that in person. I am a huge advocate. I know we all are, especially I know physicians, that's one of their favorite things, is sitting down with a patient, but having an opportunity where you can reach someone online, nutrition like that. So really the trends are all pointing to a yes for Isagenix, and there are thousands of medical professionals that are joining Isagenix to be a part of the revolution. They say that it's either 6 or 7%. I can't remember right. I feel like it's 7% of a collective group to completely change things. That if 7% of a collective decides that something is going to go another way, like some societal decision, that will influence the group. So if all of us come together and 7% of us, we grow and we grow and we grow, this call turns into 100 people, and then 1,000 people, and then 10,000, and it just keeps going and going. Who doesn't say that in 20 years we could completely change the statistics? I truly believe that. Why do we have to think that just because the statistics show now 69% of people are overweight or obese does not mean that 20 years from now, even less, it doesn't matter the amount of time, that we could change that. And it truly does, like Danny said, and so did Ernest, it really could begin on this call. Like, this could be a life-changing call. So many of the things that changed the world, technology, different advancements, they started in a room with a few people. That's what this is. Now, there are hundreds of thousands of people already a part of Isagenix, so we get to plug right into that. But I am just fired up. I think you could tell that I am passionate about this. I just want to go years into the future and just be like, wow, I made a difference. I made a ripple effect, whether it was with 10 people, 1,000 people. It's like, that is exciting. So who could get on board with being a part of the revolution? Changing the world, yes. And it begins with, it's not only nutrition, but it's a huge piece. like Eva said, food as medicine, and we can totally connect to the amazing advancements of the medical world because they are powerful and we need them, but we can also really bring this powerful nutrition. And that's what we're out to do, is really unite those worlds. So if you haven't checked out Isagenix yet, I invite you to look at isagenix.com. They just redid their website and it's amazing, so intuitive. So isagenix.com, isagenixhealth.net is where you'll find all the research studies, the peer-reviewed studies, and as well as looking at how the referral marketing works, because there are some of the most powerful people in Isagenix are physical therapists, chiropractors, who have created a network of other medical providers who are doing this. And now they are influencing thousands. So you can really build a team. So look at isagenixbusiness.com. It looks like maybe Mary said something. Oh, super. Each Isagenix solution is individually a multi-billion-dollar industry right now. That's awesome. Totally. I mean, healthy aging. People are really learning about brain health. That's a huge trend right now that people really want to learn about. So really look into this company. That I believe that this is it. This call is changing things. So thank you for being a part of it. If maybe we could do like a couple minutes or any quick questions. It could even be like, where would I find this resource? We'll open it up if you want to unmute yourself with like a quick question. No questions?
I had a question.
Sure, Deborah.
I'm from a dental background, and so obviously that's the very first source of food entering our bodies. And so I wondered if there are dentists that are using this, or have, if anyone has any recommendations or how they can be best reached.
So you're talking about dentists within Isagenix?
Yeah, well, I know Kathy Koo is a former dental hygienist, and there may be a few, but I just don't run across that specialty as often. And since that's my background, that's, what I'm kind of drawn to, but I wasn't sure how to.
Absolutely. Yeah, it looks like, Aaron, were you going to say something about that?
Oh, Michael was saying that Chip is on our team.
Yeah, we have a team member who can speak to her experience, and I know I could come up with some names for you, but I have heard several testimonies from dentists who've talked about especially the vitamins being helpful in their practice. I've heard several dentists when their preparation, especially when they need a lot of oral work, even I guess surgery would be the term, they will prep them with their vitamins. So we could come up with some names for you.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure.
Man, is there any dental hygienist that we know of within Isagenix? Maybe the founder of the company.
Yeah.
What I wanted to share is actually I got tired of not being able to find another neurosurgeon in Isagenix, so I had to bring one in.
Exactly. I love that. Awesome. Well, thank you all for being a part of this. I know that you could be a lot of places and you chose to be here. You chose to be a part of the wellness revolution. Raise your hand if this was helpful or you feel on fire on life and making a difference. Okay,
on fire.
So we plan to do these once a month to really grow this revolution. So look out for the next invite. Invite your medical provider, wellness coaches, really anyone who's out to take a stand for the wellness revolution. Invite them to the next one. So look out for the invite. It really does begin with you. Thank you all so much for joining. And if you have any questions, go back to the person who invited you and they can send you anything you need. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
It's a revolution.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. See you, Karen.